following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. Main Street Media proudly welcomes you live to Chattanooga, site of the 2021 Blue Cross Bowl. This is TriStar Friday Night Live, presented by the U.S. Army and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And welcome back to Finley Stadium and Chattanooga side of the Blue Cross Bowl 2021. And what a 4A championship game we just saw. Double overtime, and Tullahoma picks up their first ever football state championship, 21-14 over Elizabethton. Double overtime. JP played alongside the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sundrop kid from Alabama, Mr. Chris Yao. Well, guys, we've been waiting for a close one. An exciting one, back and forth. That 4A title game delivered and then some.
There's no question that we had some good games yesterday. Obviously, that Page game came down to the last play, and South Pittsburgh with the 3-point win. But I don't think either one of those had the real this could go either way feel. I mean, it was a miracle was needed last night. Today it was. This could go either way, no matter what. And Tullahoma they just gutted it out.
Yeah, gutted it out is an understatement.
Gutted it out and bailed out,
apparently,
their coach by some accounts. There were some strategical decisions made, as there always are.
In every game, yeah.
And, sometimes they don't play out the way you would have liked. But I guess the bottom line is Tullahoma won this ball game.
Tullahoma
did. And to me, it couldn't happen to a better guy. John Olive has been a great coach and a great man in this area for a long time. And for him to finally have a gold ball to go with it, I really think is just a great thing.
I'll tell you what was great.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in Tullahoma, unless you were associated with the girls wrestling program who held a tournament there today. Right.
Yep.
I said if any school or any city in this state was going to continue to have their wrestling on the day of a state championship football, it would be Tullahoma. So I gave them a pass. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there were probably 18,000 people here at the end of the game with some Westview and Hampton folks kind of trickled in. The atmosphere of that football game was electric for the morning game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Yeah, everybody was fully awake.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah, they certainly were. All right, let's get right into our game recap brought to you by Dairy Berries Heating and Air for over 35 years. Dairy Berries Heating and Air has provided unparalleled service to the residents of Sumner County. Trust Dairy Berries for all of your heating and air needs. Give them a call today at 615-452-8121 or visit them online at dairyberryac.com. That is dairyberryac.com. All right, scoring in this game, not a whole lot of it, as it was 7-7.
Compared to last night when you had the 42-35 game.
Yeah, it took a little while. This won't take quite as long. Tullahoma got on the board first in the second quarter, 11-13, with a Ryan Scott 70-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. Extra point good by Chadwick, and the Wildcats lead 7-0. Elizabethton answered with a Jake Roberts 3-yard pass catch from the quarterback Bryson Rollins, and extra point was good. We're tied at 7. It was that way until the end of regulation. We go to overtime, and Tullahoma won the toss. They elected to go defense. Elizabethton got the ball, And I believe on third down, Rollins punched it in from 1 yard out. Extra point was good, and Elizabethton led 14-7 with Tullahoma's overtime attempt to come. On the very first play, it was 10 yards. Cummings with the rush and into the end zone. Extra point by Chadwick Good. We're tied at 14. We go to a second overtime. This time, Tullahoma with the ball first. They stayed on the same end. That was the scoreboard end zone, and it was Jacob Dixon catching a 5-yard pass from Ryan Scott on third down, and the extra point was good. 21-14, Tullahoma led. And then on the second play for Elizabethton in their second overtime, pass in the end zone was intercepted, and Tullahoma with a huge win over Elizabethton for the Blue Cross Bowl Championship. And this is how it sounded, guys, from our friends at WDUC 93.9 The Duck.
Rollins looking to throw in the end zone. Intercepted! It is intercepted! Chris Tim picks it off! It is intercepted! And the Tullahoma Wildcats are the 2021 BSSAA Blue Cross Bowl State Football Champions! Unbelievable game! Unreal ending. The Wildcats. Coach Olive finally got here. Coach Olive has won himself a state championship. Tullahoma, go crazy.
Go crazy indeed. Lucky Knot and Will Rabb on the
Nobody
call.
was in Tullahoma to go crazy.
I know.
They were all on the other sideline.
What a fantastic finish. You know, the hitting, being down the sidelines, you could really see how physical this particular football game was on both sides. Two really good coach football teams, a lot of physicality, and a lot of guys with a lot of grit. And it was a lot of fun. This was a classic old school high school football game.
Instant classic. If this were ESPN, I mean, there's no question. You could not have scripted a better ending for this particular season for the Tullahoma Wildcats and for Coach John Olive. Just a phenomenal effort by his team, by his staff, and of course by him. It's just incredible.
You know, they it wasn't pretty. They had their struggles at times. You know, they had some fourth and short situations that could have gone a different way. That, I mean, again, there were just some decisions that had to be made, and may not have necessarily all played in Tullahoma's favor, but they got the job done when it came down to it.
Yeah, they did. They certainly got the job done for sure. John Olive, we talked about it in today's preview. Mo, you mentioned that 3-4 years ago, back-to-back 0-10 seasons, and didn't give up his long time tenure there at Tullahoma. And he flipped it around, and boy, did he ever. Back-to-back 0-10 seasons. These last 2 years, regular season, back-to-back 10-0 seasons. Last year, out in the quarterfinals to Nolensville in heartbreaking fashion, and they punched through that with a second win over Pearl Cone this year. Get to the state championship game over Haywood last week in the semis. And just a classic here against the two-time reigning state champ, by the way.
Exactly.
12-1 coming in. They only lost to Greenville, who was undefeated until Elizabethton put them out in the quarters.
And Greenville had won the state championship the year before Elizabethton's back-to-back.
Yeah.
So, and they beat a great team. And there's no kind of asterisk. There's no taking anything away from Tullahoma. They beat a great team and did a great job today.
Ryan Scott was named the most valuable player for Tullahoma, but he and Rollins both put on a show. I haven't seen escapability by two quarterbacks like we saw today, Chris. It was a show, and just pure athleticism, physical instinct. It was just on full display in this game from both sides.
There's a lot of there's a lot of preparation that goes into the Blue Cross Bowl, but you can never prepare enough for a quarterback who can make you miss.
Yeah.
You just can't prepare for that. Luckily, Elizabethton has a quarterback who can make you miss. So I'm sure that maybe there's some, if you're going good on good, you can maybe mimic that a little bit.
Yeah.
But both of these quarterbacks were just slippery. And they both made plays and gave themselves extra time in the pocket. Whatever they had to do, it just felt like, one of these quarterbacks was going to be the one to make the play to end the game. And it turned out, obviously, Scott with the touchdown pass at the end, which was an incredible play call, by the way. The passing lane was open. Receiver ran a fantastic route, and it was just pitch and catch.
Yeah.
So,
he put it on the money, and while one quarterback did, another one didn't. As you mentioned, Rollins rushes for 138 yards and a touchdown on 35 carries, which I don't know that I've ever seen a quarterback carry it 35 times.
That's a lot.
But he also threw for 131 yards and a touchdown. But it was his interception in the back corner of the end zone that ended the game. So
yeah. One other topic on this game before we move on, the elephant in the room that is more like the size of a cow now is because Tullahoma won.
Right.
You talk about, some high-level decisions that have to be made throughout the course of a game. First quarter, Tullahoma midfield, fourth and less than a yard, decided to punt, play defense, and flip the field. Nothing really came of that. But later on, fourth quarter, I think 2 minutes and change to go.
Two and some change.
They get down to the 1. It's 4th and 1, tie ball game. And the decision to go for it after a timeout. Gutsy decision, of course. Either way, you got a field goal kicker that's a Mr. Football finalist for kickers. Certainly has the leg from the 1, but a statement of a touchdown to get up by 7 in that could have been the death nail in regulation. His team came back and won, but it was an interesting decision. I'll put it that way.
It was a highly interesting decision because the way Tullahoma's defense had played all day long, you feel like if it's a 10-7 ball game with 2 minutes and some change, you're going to put it on your defense and see what happens. But, maybe Coach Olive felt like he could either A, score, or B, make Elizabethton go 99.5 yards.
That's true. It's not unheard of in that scenario. And also, too, they had extreme confidence in his offense to punch it in. So, we weren't in the huddle, obviously. Tullahoma won. Defense played great. Made the plays when they needed.
Especially at the end.
That's right. And Tullahoma's going back up I-24 with the gold ball in the shape of a football, and it's going to be displayed right up front and at the high school.
I wonder if Tullahoma goes through Manchester.
That's one of the ways you could do it. Yeah.
As did South Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Last night.
I mean, taking some notes from the rivalry hit playbook right there.
Yeah.
An extra jolt of caffeine through Coffee County.
Yep. There you go.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I picked Elizabethton this morning, and I just felt like they were going to have a little bit of extra momentum having been here twice. But as I told you on the field before the game, Elizabethton was here 2 years ago, had never been here, and they won it. So why not Tullahoma?
Yeah.
Why
because
not
you haven't been
indeed?
here. That's right.
Well, I'll tell you
They
what,
were 14-0 coming in. Hello.
that crowd, that student section with the sign "State or Die." I mean,
And they had signs of
pretty heavy.
all 14 wins.
See, they missed a great opportunity though. They should have done Tombstone style.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah. Still, they came.
The point was made.
Great
though.
point.
They
great
came to
point.
play. They
I
came
wonder
to play.
I wonder if they finished off that Elizabethton sign at
And
the
just
end.
put a score in there.
And put a score in. I don't know.
Somebody give them a Sharpie.
Right.
Go
Tullahoma.
put it off.
Sharpie.
Yeah, I like it. That's right. Just a fantastic football game. I mean, it really was one of the best that I've seen of course, in what I've been doing. I haven't seen a whole lot of high school football games recently, but this certainly ranks up towards the top. And just two hard-fought teams. Tullahoma comes out on top 21-14 in overtime. And our game recap, as always, this week brought to you by Derryberry's Heat and Air. For over 35 years, Derryberry's Heat and Air has provided unparalleled service for the residents of Sumner County. Well, they can do that for you as well. Trust them for all your heating and air needs. Give them a call today, 615-452-8121, or visit them online at derryberryac.com. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about what's up next is the 2A state championship game from the Blue Cross Bowl in Chattanooga, live here on TriStar Friday Night Live, presented by the U.S. Army and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Will be back after this timeout.
Hey, Toby. Toby knows comfort, whether day or night. Through the highs and the lows, Toby knows. You've put it off long enough. That old system is just out with the old, in with the new. We'll make it worthwhile all the way through. Derryberry is your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Visit derryberryac.com today and schedule a visit. Derryberry Heat and Air, making customers for life.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang out, okay? What's your name? Where you are right now?
I am Dr. Birdie, the founder, CEO, and president at Home Care Preference. I am a successful African-American female entrepreneur in business through Wilson Bank and Trust. With the partnership that I have, the level of my dreams is the limit of that company's success. When there's strong partnership, everything is possible.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
TriStar Friday Night Live is brought to you in part by the U.S. Army. In the boots of a U.S. Army soldier, you'll move forward in your career and make a real difference in the world. Find the right fit with more than 150 occupational specialties. Learn more at usarmy.com. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you booze it and lose it. The bad decision to drive drunk will land you in jail. And by Wilson Bank and Trust. Visit wilsonbankandtrust.com for more details. Wilson Bank and Trust, proud supporter of high school sports.
Welcome back to the Blue Cross Bowl and site of the 2021 state championships in Chattanooga and Finley Stadium. JP played alongside Hall of Famer Mo Patton and Chris Yaup. We are live inside Finley Stadium at the Media Workroom. And what a fun one we just saw in the 4A state championship as Tullahoma downed Elizabethton in double overtime 21-14 to get John Olive, head coach, and that program its first ever state championship. And they will be celebrating here and on the way back with the entire town of Tullahoma, the City Cats. It will be a city on fire tonight. Good fire and fuego, as Dan Patrick would used to say, right? All right, before we get into this afternoon's game, let's take a look at what we've seen prior to this game right here in the Wilson Bank and Trust scoreboard, and we'll take a look at the previous games just to get you updated. Last night, it was Powell over Page, 42-34 in the 5A state championship game. And it was Jordan Potts, the MVP, who went 24 of 30 for 324 yards and 4 touchdowns. By the way, Jake McNamara for Page, just 32 of 56 for 291, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Just a masterful performance, a gutty performance. But Powell comes out on top and wins the 5A championship. 1A game yesterday afternoon. It was South Pittsburgh 24-21 winners over McKenzie. DeAndre Kelly, the MVP for South Pitt, 19 carries, 182 yards, 2 scores, 2 turnovers each for both teams that were critical, including a scoop and score for South Pittsburgh that tied the game at 14 apiece. And in the 3A game started yesterday morning, it was Alcoa, 45-14 winners over East Nashville. Caden Buckles, the MVP, 12 of 17 for 117 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He had 14 rushes as well for 52 yards and 3 more scores. Alcoa outgained East Nashville, by the way, 333 to 124. In the D2 3A game Thursday night, it was Macaulay over NBA 28-7. William Riddle named MVP, the quarterback, 10 of 15, $172 and 2 scores. Macaulay piled up 357 yards. Total offense held NBA to just 215. D2 1A, it was DCA 31-7 winners over Nashville Christian. And Jacob Cook was named MVP, defensive player, but also returner. 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. DCA piled up 301 total yards of offense in the 31-7 win over Nashville Christian. And finally, Thursday morning, it was Lipscomb Academy 27-0 over CPA. Alexander Broom named MVP, 20 carries, 138 yards, 2 scores. Lipscomb Academy had 341 yards of total offense, 194 of those on the ground. So that is a quick look at the Wilson Bank and Trust scoreboard, guys. So let's take a look at what we've got coming up next, and that is the 2A game between Westview and Hampton. And, we saw Walker Nolan last night for Powell, who is by some publications the number 1 recruit in the country. And we've got another great recruit heading to Alabama playing today for this Westview team at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong when Ty Simpson's on the field if you're the Westview Chargers. And this team is primed and ready. I mean, it's going to take a phenomenal defensive effort from Hampton to give themselves a chance to win, but that's what Hampton's done all year. They've been phenomenal on defense, giving up just 12.8 points a game while scoring 33.7. So, here's the thing. Hampton's last loss was in week 10.
Wow.
They're on a 4-game win streak, and that's in the 4 playoff games.
How about that?
So that's, this is a team that's seen adversity. So they're not going to get down just because, maybe Westview scores a touchdown. This Hampton team will be ready to play. One of these 2 teams will take home their first gold ball.
They call it peaking at the right time.
That's right. Playing your best ball.
Yep.
Yeah. Hampton, I feel like got some people's attention with their win in last week's semifinal game, coming from behind late to defeat Trousdale County 22-20. And they come into this game at 11-2. They've played some pretty good ball. Like you said, they have a post-game win streak, a postseason win streak. And, their quarterback, Connor Jones, is a guy that goes both ways. He plays in the defensive secondary for the Bulldogs as well. And I'm not sure what impact that will have on either side of the ball for Hampton, but I feel like I'm just thinking that Hampton probably hasn't run into an offense or a quarterback like Westview and Ty Simpson.
Yeah, they're gonna have their hands full, not just with Simpson, but obviously, Javion Goins, the wide receiver, and Quincy Hamilton, both of those guys. And then, of course, anytime you've got a decent tight end, which is Amarian Harris for Westview, that gives you an extra set of hands to throw the ball to. And so, Hampton's defensive backfield is going to have its hands full, and that includes Connor Jones and also Dylan Trevette. I like Dylan Trevette.
Like Jimmy?
It's a good name. Yeah, it's like Jimmy.
Jimmy Trevette.
What if we're going to play for the Cowboys?
Who knows? All right. Who do you guys like?
Westview. just because you can't go wrong with.
Yeah, tough not to pick Westview in this one, I think.
All right. Ty Simpson certainly will be on display. I'm looking forward to seeing him as well, live and in person. All right, that'll do it for us here on this TriStar Friday Night Live recap. Don't forget to join us immediately following Game 2 between Westview and Hampton. We'll have full coverage of that coming up this afternoon. And then tonight we'll have full coverage of the Oakland Summit game as well. So all of that still to come. Day 3 from the Blue Cross Bowl in Chattanooga here on TriStar Friday Night Live, presented by the U.S. Army and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. For the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, for Chris Yao, I'm JP Plant saying so long for now from Chattanooga. We'll talk to you after the 2A championship game right back here. Talk to you then.
TriStar Friday Night Live is brought to you in part by the U.S. Army. In the boots of a U.S. Army soldier, you'll move forward in your career and make a real difference in the world. Find the right fit with more than 150 occupational specialties. Learn more at usarmy.com. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, reminding you booze it and lose it. The bad decision to drive drunk will land you in jail. And by Wilson Bank and Trust. Visit wilsonbankandtrust.com for more details. Wilson Bank and Trust, proud supporter of high school sports.